Yes, it's up. Yes, it does.
Can we call the meeting to order? Say the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can we do a roll call, please? Here.
Height. Haley Rado is not here.
Should be in later.
We'll check her in when she shows. Anthony Sobek.
Here.
And Cindy Smith is here.
Does anybody have any additions or deletions, corrections to the agenda?
Our plan, water thing, but we can just put that right under the clerk updates.
Okay.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Public comment? Yeah. And everybody, you will go to the podium and state your name and address, as Phyllis is doing.
I gotta turn it on first. Yep, there you go. Is it on now?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm Phyllis Vanderbuck, and I live on Hewitt Road. The first thing I want to talk about is something that's bothered me for a couple of weeks here. Our first constitutional amendment gives us all the freedom to speech and freedom to gather. When a photo was published publicly using people's names without their permission, it's considered invasion of privacy. That's under the Fourth Amendment. So I would prefer that if you people want to stay with amendments, please do not post people's names without permission. My second thing I want to talk to is Cindy. Cindy, when you come down Larson to pick up your political sign, will you take a few minutes to walk Larson, because we're getting a lot of potholes. It's getting pretty bad shape. So I would like to have Larson put on, or maybe some repair in the future.
And Larson is the first road that we put millings on that was bad for like forever.
Yeah, that was back in 2019, I looked it up.
Yeah, it was like 40 years before that, nobody did anything to
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
so can you, when you have your time, please take a chance and then put us on the list.
Thank you, Phyllis. Any more public comments?
I do.
Would you come up to the podium, please, Carrie?
I'd rather not.
Well, I can't hear you, so would you
Well,
come?
I'll talk louder then. I wasn't going to say anything, but I see you have cameras here on the agenda, so I guess I want to say something before you give people disinformation. One,
I can't
are
hear you.
people aware that they're being recorded when they rent this hall and you're reviewing them without any pause? And
How
you
about
can't
you just
deny
step up
it.
part way so we can hear you?
I don't want to. I know it's true because you did it at the last meeting for no reason outside of political gain. Not to mention, you brought a county commissioner in, which was totally unnecessary, and I do believe that's malice intent. Also, what Phyllis was saying about the picture in Facebook, that was also a camera, I do believe, from here, looking at the angle where you said someone gave it to you. I don't believe that. There was one thing, putting the picture in Facebook, but saying our names was totally uncalled for. And when I asked to see the videotape of last meeting, I was informed that I could not because the cameras did not carry that much memory. However, I do believe by law, you have to keep recordings for a certain amount of time. And if you have state and federal funds, I do believe it's anywhere between 20 and 30 days. So I do believe you had that tape, but you chose not to. So please don't at the end of the meeting comment on it, because I would rather you say nothing.
Thank you.
Well, my name's Al. I live right here in Hubbard Lake.
First off, your rules of decorum, we're saying that we have to come up here and give our name. That's unconstitutional. That is a Fourth Amendment violation. Absent of us committing a crime, we are not required by law to identify ourselves. So you need to check that. Second off, you having y'all's back turned to me while I'm speaking to y'all is very disrespectful. So if you could turn your asses around, look at me while I'm speaking to you.
It's not square.
I have the First Amendment right to speak how I choose. I have the right to express myself. Do not infringe upon my rights.
I am just asking you.
You can close your mouth and you can listen to my 3 minutes.
You
Understand?
cannot talk to me like that.
I am going to talk to you however I choose, ma'am. You work for me, not the other way around. Cindy Smith, can you turn around and face me, please?
I'm taking notes.
You can turn around.
I'm
If y'all's
taking
table,
minutes, my job is to take
if
minutes.
y'all's table was turned sideways like it was the other meaning that y'all actually didn't come out for the hour and 10 minutes that I was here, y'all could have easily had that chair right there, straight across. You could be taking your notes while facing the people that are addressing you. It's called respect. Cindy, you got a $1,596 approval for a dredging permit, I believe it was for. I don't see any bills in the township record showing that. Can you identify why that isn't in the township bills yet? That was been over a month? Nothing? Okay. Okay. We're also missing a township check, number 7606. We have 900, hold on one second here, $996.37 coming for at this time. Can anybody at the board explain this to me? No? Nobody? Great. Let's see what else is on here. So as far as y'all's changing the township organization or regulations for the size of the lots, what I'm adamantly opposed to that. You don't need to leave people alone in the property that are allowed to legally. As far as livestock in this area, you don't need to change the ordinance where people can have like chickens and stuff like that. I agree that there should be some type of limited amount in residential areas. Me personally, I like having home farm raised eggs. I don't prefer not to go out there, but I don't have to. I'd rather have them myself, but due to our current township ordinance, I cannot have chickens. I would personally like to have 4 or 5 chickens myself, if possible. So, you know, we revise the township ordinance so that private individuals in the township, some of your board members here sitting in that table also have chickens on private residential zone area. I'm also going to request Joe look into opposing tournaments for the board. Too much talk for too long can easily corrupt people, easily cause people to do things they shouldn't be doing, and definitely excuse the public eye. So 2 to 3 terms, that's more than long enough for people to provide for their community and do what's necessary for the community. Cindy Smith, I actually want to give you credit for your credit this due. You're trying to save the township a couple dollars by not wanting the library by not wanting to pay the library changeover. That was from, I think, July monthly meeting. That's where you said that you would be willing to address what the vote, you would vote on a ballot and have to vote again. So I appreciate you saying that you don't want to spend an extra $850 a month that we don't need to spend. So I definitely appreciate that.
Any other public comments?
Ashley, I don't care who takes my picture, I don't care if it's just pandas, I have nothing to hide. I'm just here to watch this fantastic board do the business. And with all this corruption and all this wrongdoing, they got a lot of votes. The majority of the people in this township approve of what they're doing. And I think I congratulate them for the good service they're doing. Also, it was a great campaign, but they still prevailed very well. Very well. Last meeting, just like this meeting, I plan to leave with my wife in the same vehicle. a story on Facebook about how we tried to run some people off the road. And, we're not done with that. I'm taking that to the next level. We gained the proof, and, you guys all got the cameras on. It's not done. I'm not standing for it. These people accuse my wife and myself of trying to do property damage or bodily harm. And that to me is a real big bold line. You can tell stories about anything else, but don't lie about somebody trying to hurt somebody else or injure your equipment or something. That's wrong. That's where I draw the line. So I fully intend to go as far as I can with that. I'm not a public official. I was not running for a public office. So, hey, that's the way it rolls. Anyway, thank you. Congratulations to the board. Like I said, Tom, lots of votes. You all did very well. Thank you.
Any other public comment? Steve, did you have anything you wanted to talk about, or are you good?
Sunday, guys, I'm county commissioner. We had second quarter budget reviews going on this last month, so nothing big there. And the Veterans Association, they have a new building in downtown Lincoln. And I just want to say something, I can't believe how this whole township acts. It is pathetic. I mean, there's enough vinegar to go around here. I mean, a little bit of honey would be great. I go around between these two townships on the lake. I mean, everyone has a couple of dollars to their name. Everyone needs to go on their name. They complain, and when somebody does something to the neighbor, and the next thing is worse, and it escalates, and the next thing you know, there's lawsuits. And the only one that wins are the attorneys. No. So, I mean, we have a great community. I think we would just settle down a little bit and work together. I mean, obviously, we all have our differences. But I mean, at some point, if they hate so bad, we leave. I had the opportunity to go up here. I moved away for almost 30 years, back to living in multiple properties here in Caledonia Township. And I love it, and that's why I do what I do. I don't do it for money. We try and help this county out. It's a poor county. We have to all grab the rope together and pull together to make this go. And that's all I do.
Thank you, Dave. I'm sure everybody knows by now that our fire millage passed. I am very proud of our fire department, and I'm glad that the community is supporting them and realizes that they need the best of equipment. If you could, Steve, please thank all of our volunteers. I know on Facebook over and over we're hearing about walking down the shoulder of Mount Moriah. I have been for over a year talking to the road commission. I will be meeting with the superintendent next month. And Mount Moriah is getting repaved by all three townships. It's something that we're going to have to get together with and find out the cost for each one of us. But it's not that we're not trying. It just all takes time, and we have to be patient. So I'm just putting it out there. It's been discussed, it's being discussed. Keep moving forward. So, now they can almost move on with the page. Okay. First we got the minutes. Did everybody review the minutes before I come? Any questions?
motion. I make a motion to accept the notes of the audit account at the regular meeting. Motion opposed.
Motion been made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Minutes from July 10th, July 1st meeting, which is due. Yeah, I'll have to make them. We'll need someone to second it, so, yeah, we'll circle back. Okay, election update. So the election went well. We had a normal election, and everyone seemed to be good themselves. So our election workers worked really hard, and
Everybody behave themselves, watch out for the cops.
this is our meeting, please. You have to speak already. So thank you to our election workers and Sophie for making lunches and snacks and providing them for the workers. And we'll have to get ready for the November election, so they're right around the corner. I run at Sophie, do you want to set a date for our elected meeting in October? Yeah, it should be in October. And I'll have to fall. And I have a vote, I'll make a motion to set the elected meeting for October 9th at 6:30 prior to our regular meeting. We can't do that. Okay, motion's been made and seconded to set the elected meeting for October 9th at 6:30 prior to our regular monthly meeting. All in favor? Aye. Motion carried. The power plan? Yes, the power plan. So I did a small grant, since we spent so much money in the fall. There was a small grant available for water detection. So they're now in the kitchen under the sink and the utility room, and it's 24/7 monitoring. So if it picks up any water whatsoever, I can deal with check all right away. So it can help minimize any damage if there ever was any, and it helps reduce our insurance. I do it. So if you see those little white things all go out there. So the recount as it stands now is, everyone involved just got an email from somebody, and it's going to be set for the end of August and 20 days. So, when the date and time is made, the public will be made aware because that is what we then let's see a lot. And it's my understanding that the hand count as well as that. Yeah, so with the hand count, it can change the number of votes because there was a lot of absentee ballots that had cross votes, and when that happens, the election workers job to cast those votes, and then all it reads is the notice, their other votes didn't count. So if they cross between the Republican and Democrat, only the notice counted for those people. So it's now going to hand count them as long as there was no cross vote in the race in question, those votes will not count. So. Yeah. At least that's what I was told, so unless that changes, I'm not sure that's due to come, I'm not sure of that at all. Okay, we're gonna skip. I do need to transfer the ballots down there whenever Stephanie tells me they need to be transferred. I would like the board to approve, Diane, who's in the party than I am, to accompany me here to get them, and in the car to deliver them. I don't want you off alone with those ballots and everything at all, just because I don't have any questions asked. Would you rather do anything with them? And like, I think she said I'm required to do it. If I can get out of it, I will, but that's too. But if I'm required to, then I use my two different parties. Yeah. So, okay. Is the board okay with me spending the money because I'll have to get paid hourly wage? Yeah, to do that in my budget. I say let's do a motion to on the record.
Make a motion to
to hire Diamond Diamonds to assist you with transporting you or doing transporting the ballot to where it's
Support. Motion's been made and seconded, all in favor? Aye. Aye. Motion carried, thank you.
We did not have a transmission meeting this month.
So it will be September, and you also have public hearings.
Yeah.
Okay. That would work. Yeah. Would you like to follow up?
My name is Tim Farrar, I'm the veteran rep for Pleasant View Cemetery. Live on Hoover Road. Today is August the 14th. Just a couple of things here. Actually, President Roosevelt signed the Social Security Act today. August 14th, 1935. August the 14th, 1945. It was announced today that Japan had surrendered unconditionally to the Allied forces today, which effectively ended World War II. Since then, both August the 14th and August the 15th have been known as Victory over Japan Day, or simply known as BJ Day. August the 14th, 1945. Lansing, Michigan will soon have a United States naval ship named after it. Secretary of the Navy Del Toro named the ship the USNS Lansing. The USNS Lansing is an EPF-16 ship. Will be an expeditionary fast transport ship. The shallow draft, all-aluminum commercial-based catamaran capable of short-distance personnel and cargo lifts. It will provide commanders with high-speed mobility, bridging the gap between low-speed sea lifts and high-speed airlift. The ship is currently being built at Mobile, Alabama, and is in the first steps in its commissioning process. The EPF class ships are designed to transport 600 short tons of military cargo, 1,200 nautical miles, at an average speed of 35 knots. I have no idea how fast that is, so all of you who live on the lake probably know what 35 knots is. They have a crew of 26 people, with airline-style seating, with 312 troops, and fixed berthing for an additional 104 people. So the USNS Lansing, we will have a ship named after our state capital. A little trivia thing here. Did you know that approximately 1 in 4 soldiers who enlisted in the Union Army during the Civil War were immigrants to the United States? Almost 1 in 4 were immigrants to the United States. July the 15th of this year, the work was finally started on our Veterans Memorial area at the cemetery. In the second Myers and Tom Matthew. And I helped out a little bit. And when it came to the cement work, not me. That cement is not together. And my hat goes off to Tom Matthew because he worked on that cement for hours and hours. A lot of sweat went into that. Saturday, August the 3rd, I attended, as Dave mentioned, the new VA building. I attended the ribbon cutting ceremony for the Alcoa Department of Veterans Affairs building in Lincoln. It is located at 222 222 2nd Street. So I would encourage everybody, whether you're a veteran or not, to go down to 222 2nd Street and take a look at the new VA facility. It's really, really nice. After all these years of Tony Atkinson having to work out of a broom closet or any other hole-in-the-wall place that they shuffled into, he's finally got a state-of-the-art building, and it's for not just Tony's building, but it's our building. One last thing. Since our last township meeting, I have elevated, level, clean, 44 head stones. Great work. The entire north side of the first addition is done. I worked on 2 today on the south side, closest to the flagpole, because it's closer to the dirt pile and my water toilet. They were really bad. There's a lot more out there that needs to be done. Some of them, because they're in close proximity to the vector marker, you can't just elevate them and leave the rest of them right next to them alone. So I didn't elevate them, but I got all the sod and the dirt pulled away. So they're all kind of on the same plane. I try to leave hardly any footprint, let's put it that way. You want to go in there and make it not just nice, but you got to make it look respectable. So I could go into some. My wife told me about there's a Jewish saying for doing things like that, and I forgot to bring it with me. But that's a shirt she'll remind me, and I'll bring it the next time. But it's like a commandment. What's known as a mitzvah. And it's a commandment because those people can't help themselves. So we do it. Now the specifics of all 44 plus the civilian ones, of those grade markers and headstones within those employee minutes, that's why there's 5 pages on them too. And there's a lot of things I noticed up there that's bad. I don't know who's been setting them grade markers over the years, but now it's on our watch. We need to be cognizant of those that are setting markers up there because they obviously don't know what a straight line is. Some of them are up 10 to 11 inches out of whack. And those were the ones that were hit by the lawnmower. I caught Nick Myers' crew up there yesterday morning, and they moved the ones that I found back onto the base where they belong and lined them up the best they could. There were 3 of them in a row that were hit with the lawnmowers. Anyway, I tried to line them up as I leveled them to line them up, but there is no picking a string ain't gonna get it either unless somebody runs a transit down through there, but it's pretty bad. Hopefully, at least in the second edition, where we're at 21st century tools, that we can get things lined up the way they should be. The old part, yeah, that's where we started. I called Pro Memorial today, just curious, what do they charge to clean markers? Well, they don't clean them. They gave me the name of a company that does, and I had to leave a phone message. I was just curious. But the lady said, well, we do charge for setting markers, or I guess re-elevating and setting them, and or setting headstones. It's $290 a whack. $290 a whack. I can't see that would be a cost for setting a grade marker, something small and flat. She didn't specify one or the other. It was $290. So multiply 290 times 44. That didn't even include the cleaning. So,
Can we give you a raise check? Can we give you a raise check?
rain check?
Raise.
A raise.
No, I don't want to. I wouldn't know what to do with it. That's all I have from Pleasantview.
Also, Jim, I'd like to let everybody know that you had a little dehydration problem. So if you see Jim up there in the cemetery working in the tile, making drink water.
I didn't think I was going to get out of there.
No, I wasn't good.
And the VA sent me to the ER. You have somebody here that can drive you to the ER? I said, yeah, my wife's here. Well, you go right now because we're calling letting them know that you're coming. Oh, man. Well, after 4 hours, you know how the ER is up in Michigan. Anyway, the PA came in and said, you were dehydrated. My blood pressure had dropped to like, what was it, 77 over 43, with a pulse of 41. I thought I was doing all right. I just had a little dizzy. So,
They came to the cemetery on Monday afternoon when he was up on a flannel working. And I had to call his wife and we started drinking water. So it's, threatened like it works. Yeah. Thank you, Jim.
thank you.
Then you have the application for the Metro app from PI. Cindy and I have discussed it with the attorney, but I'm going to let you, since she has a whole big lot that we won't be reading. PIB and PIB. I'm sorry. So anyhow, it's the Metro act. We have the attorney look this over. And he said it's all boilerplate, and quite honestly, the Metro Act is its own law, so we really don't have a choice in it. The Metro Act supersedes anything we may have, and what it is the right to use the right of ways oversight act, which is the Metro Act. And they did submit a check, which you had due, of $500, and that was to cover the fees for real work only. Basically is what they're for. So we need to pass a resolution approving the permit. It's not a permit like, and I had Nick Doody look over, it's not a permit. It's just a piece of paper that we call a permit. So, it's just a resolution of it. Yes, we're on before. I think I wrote, there it was. Yeah, 2404 is where we're at. And then I will complete the permit form and mail it back. We have 45 days to act by the law that it has. So, we'll look over. This is what we need. We've been supposed to create an envelope, and number 1 is the resolution to adopt. And then 2 is just the paperwork I need to sign saying that we passed it and to write away to our and where they're gonna go. Some of this has to do with, it's not just gas line, it's also hydrogen or gas and some other things, but it doesn't mean they're coming here. We've had that conversation with them before, but this gives them ability to enter to our area. So, resolution 24. Okay, I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2404 to adopt the application for access to and ongoing use of public right-of-way by telecommunication providers under the Metro Act of 2002.
Second.
We have to, Cindy Gassie? Yes. Tom Price?
Yes.
Susan Morado?
Yes.
Anthony Stoner?
Yes.
And Cindy Smith, yes.
This is all Township Park number 1, and number 2 signatures.
Number 2 is just our records. Don't be doing silent.
Number 2.
And I'll get that in all on the screen, so we can hear that one.
I have to purchase with the board approval a couple of signs for North End Park. We need to replace a couple of the no trespassing private property beyond the point on the fences on the border. And I'd like to get a no mooring sign for the swimming dock. We should be able to do it easily for under $500. Probably need to replace the sign that says vehicle.
So you know, by the sides too, for the trailer. Okay, Mark.
I'll make a motion to purchase no trespassing signs, no mooring signs, and to replace the signs where, to label where the truck, vehicle and trailer parking is and where this vehicle parking is. Not to exceed $500.
Motion for made and seconded, all in favor? Aye. Motion carried. We did receive notification that Alcona Septic, who provides the porta potties at Folsom and North End Park, is no longer going to be in the septic business.
Right.
They're no longer in the
Porta
porta
potty
potty
business.
business. They're still in the septic business, that's why I think I did get an estimate from Alcona Septic Service, but I have some questions on it. And I don't think we're in a real rush, I should be able to, I won't be one at the North End Park in September, October, but we have to talk to them some more. They have a total for 1945, but it says 700 for Folsom and 1800 for the North End Park.
When there's, septic, when they be done.
Is that worth the share, I believe? Yeah.
But we got a general idea, and then what we're gonna, I know originally when we did the porta potty in the North End Park, it was the same as paying somebody to payment, which was a devil because we had an office. So, I'll talk to you tomorrow about that. If it's okay. Also, with our COVID money, our ARPA funds, we have September 1st of 24. That's okay, because we don't have freezing in the park either.
Just want to make sure I have it right. Take a level.
We're gonna take the one that is, right, so we're gonna take the one from Folsom and work on it. For the weekend. at Elmer's, where our gravel would be coming from, so the township can buy it directly. That's what we're doing, is saying, oh, whoever owns the project, I can't let them for everything to the roads. They got one to the price, they got one to the roads. So I think it's all of them, it's hard, they don't get paid for that.
I can make a motion that we have the hospitality.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to open an account with owners to the township to purchase.
I ask the board to amend that, with signatures of board members, so the board members can touch that account, like, we'll all sign it with paper and take it up there. Because I go on and accidental charges from anywhere else. And so if you're comfortable with that, can you amend that to include the signatures? Good.
I think that's how we want it. Okay, motion's been made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So we recently became aware that our cameras only store for about 2 weeks, depending on how much data is there. I think it was 10 days. 10 days? 10 days. I got a price from Suter. We need to increase the storage.
Well, can we go back a little bit? So, when a scenario happened that made it come to light, I always thought we had 30 days. These cameras were put in 2019, 2020. It was before that. So, some of us went down before them when they were purchased, and they knew that it was full 30 days. He said they always knew. So, none of us were even made aware. And the more cameras that are added, which we only added one on, which we're required to do for the elections, for the drop box. The more you add on, the less days. It was 14 days when they were purchased, and the board agreed back then to do that, back in 2018, 2020. And then when we added the elections one on, that's when it went from 14 days to 10, and we didn't know that. So that's what happened there.
So it wasn't a requirement when you put the cameras.
It's still not required.
It's still not
I'm gonna say
required.
that. I did call the Bureau of Elections, and it is a forthcoming change that they expect. She said, I not even hit 2024, but for sure by 2026. So right now we do even have the game cameras up, and even then you don't have to monitor it or store it. So it says there's no storage. You don't have to. So if we're checking them every day, and there's a problem, we're gonna have 24 hours. So, it's upcoming. I think we need to address it and, make it last at least 30 days, because might as well do it now, if the election law is changing, or change it, so it's coming.
You're not gonna get any cheaper.
No, we're not.
We got two estimates. One is for 30 days, 824. And the other one is for 35 to 40 days. For 1153.
So, the lesson learned there
It
is.
says that the maximum storage for one
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the lesson learned is if you buy the 30 days for 824, and we ever add more cameras, it's no longer 30 days.
Right.
So I would like the board to consider the 40 days, so if cameras were ever added later, we're still looking at 30-day voter requirement for the drop box. You said 30 and 40.
Right, no, I'm saying 20 days.
Oh, yeah, the 20 requirement. So I would consider it 40. I know it's a little bit more, but that way, if anything was ever added, we're still got a full 30 days in there. I'll make a motion. Are we going to use color codes for this, or are we just going to use all maintenance? Okay. I'll make a motion to approve, who is that code exceed $1,200.
Motion's been made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried, and dredging. We did receive a plan, I think I sent it to all of you, but what I want to know if you agree or not agree, if we dredge now, we gotta pull the docks out, close and launch. At this point in the season, I think we should wait right before we put the docks in the spring. Because the lake's gonna bring,
Yeah, during winter, and push more in.
Yeah. and I agree with you, yes.
Is it permitted for like a year?
5 years, we can keep dredging. And
And the grant was paid in July, check 7583, RS got that point.
Yeah.
So, I know, but I'm just saying, so we have plenty of time to do that. Yeah.
And also, so, I was gonna talk about the Veterans Memorial, but Jim pretty much beat me to that. Okay, Haley. I'm gonna go back up to you. One thing Haley, we need to do is approve the minutes from the electors meeting. I don't know if you have any questions or concerns with that? No? Okay. It's just a minute, I would entertain a motion to approve the electors minutes from July 10th, 2021.
I will make a motion to approve the minutes, the election meeting minutes for July 10, 2024. I'll second that.
Motion's been made and seconded by the electors committee. All in favor? Aye. Thank you. That will maybe set the next one for October 9th. Right before our regular meeting.
And for transparency, I logged in Helios arriving at 7:26 p.m. which I apologize for being late. I was calling animals. And I'm sorry, that's not. And did you want me to? Yeah, I wanted to say that with moving the money, like from the state, the S1 account in our general fund to the money market, we're averaging between $400 and $500 a month in interest by keeping that money all in money market.
Is that more or?
Yeah, more, because it wasn't getting any interest. The S1 account was not getting any interest before. Also, I did that to the tax account. It was in the S1, and I've moved all of that money into the money market, and that the tax account with my disbursements and stuff that averages about $300 a month in interest in that tax account. We never collected any interest previously. Also, I received a notification about a scorecard. When we use the Visa, it like has rewards points. There's 46,682 points that we have access to that we can like purchase. They have like a website or whatever that you can purchase things if things are needed for the call. It's really, I look through it, it's really anything that from grills, everyday household, a vacuum, kitchen appliances. You don't ever have to use it and it continues to rack up, but if there's ever anything that's a need for a part or a hall or something.
How much have negotiate?
Because,
Right, I don't know if we should try with those, or,
right,
I don't know.
yeah, I don't know, I just.
I didn't know that it existed, so.
Notification on
Let me ask you what you do with those scenarios, if you can use the points for township business, or if that's something that's just allowed.
that. Right. I mean, that's through the bank, so.
Yeah.
Really crazy.
Yeah, I don't know that that's our
Our
policy.
rewards,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay. And also, from the start of the tax season until the 12th, I've collected about $803,000 in taxes. Do you know if that's for card rewards points have ever been used?
I don't believe so. I just received a thing in my PO box on it, and so I was like,
Can you send me a copy of that? It's
it's
whatever
like
it is,
what it
what I
was, just like a
saw.
little postcard thing of what it was. And so I just researched it, and then I called the bank, and they said it was for like rewards for using the.
Right, yeah, I understand how it works, but I'm just wondering if this place has ever been used in the past, or.
I just wanted you guys to be aware that it was there.
Yeah, no, I get it. Thank you. Just would like to note that I added one, so after the spreadsheet was sent out, I added check 7655 to Jim Farrar to reimburse him for his VA markers and the rod holders in the amount of $118.13. So that was cut after that was sent out, so I know she was trying to check numbers and I wanted to happen.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded, all in favor? Aye. I'm sure, Al, that you have seen that the dredging permit, we have it, and we paid for the dredging permit, so last month was on those we paid. We hired an engineer to pull the permit, so we're gonna wait till next year to do it.
Do you have any comment about the missing check?
What was the check name?
I don't know what check, I don't know.
7606. And if I might, I do have one question about the bills presented. We're paying $6,500 for lawn keeping. We can buy a tractor and pay somebody $20 an hour and save a month.
Check 7606 was cut after, so I explained this numerous times, and I'll do it again just because we have a lot of people here. So when I got checks, generally Saturday and Sunday, on Mondays, Cindy actually sent out to anyone signed up for the email a copy of the agenda, the bills to be paid, and the treasurer's report. Those three things are generally always attached to her mailings. It does occasionally happen that between Monday and Wednesday, a bill comes in, and then I pay it. So you won't see that check number because what was sent to you on Monday does not include new checks added, and that's what I just told Phyllis happened again this month, is there was one more check cut after that thing was sent out to you. So check 7606 is not accounted for. I explained in last month's meeting that check was added, so Phyllis would know, and that was the KCI for the property tax bills to be mailed out and processed in the amount of $1,114.50. So, if you'd like to copy of that, feel free to FOIA it. It does exist, and it was available in cash. So, there are times that it appears there's a missing check number, but it's not. It just wasn't on your spreadsheet. Nor am I required to do that spreadsheet. I do it so the general public has a good idea where their money's going. I can't help when those come in. I don't control that, but I don't put it off for a month and for interest for the township because you didn't see it on the spreadsheet. So that's what happened.
Also, sometimes we approve something in the meeting to be paid with a contractor or something like that, and it won't be on your list that you get. It will be paid in between meeting 1 and meeting 2. Okay, then you got the dredging bill, we got the check. The cameras. you walk in this hall, Terry, there's a sign outside that, pardon?
Stop calling her out. She doesn't like when you say her.
I'm answering you, Terry Scott. When you come into this hall,
Cindy,
there is a sign that shows you that there's a camera on the premises
I
recording.
understand.
And, okay, I'm
So
answering
you're
your
calling
question.
me out, so I can respond. My question was, why
I
did you
am
go and
answering-
do what we talked about in front of the kitchen?
I can't
That's
even
what
hear you,
I'm
that's the
saying.
great part.
Yeah, well.
People do know they're being recorded inside the hall.
And outside their
And
sign.
it's outside your sign.
Yes, but do they know board members are going in upstairs and reviewing the tapes? That's what I'm questioning.
Okay, thank you. I answered your question for public comment. Thank you. Is there anything anybody else has for board comment? Motion to adjourn? Motion to made. Second. Anthony, second. It's hard to hear it, so, sorry. Motion to made, seconded. All in favor? Aye.